So now we're going to take a look at compound interest and we're going to use a compound interest formula. But just so we're aware, again, one thing you need to be able to do is figure out compound interest using a table and simple interest. So we'll use that as our warm-up. So use simple interest in a table to find the value of a $1,500 investment. Oh, change that. So we want to figure out the value of a $1,500 investment for 3 years at 4.7% compounded annually. Okay, so if it's compounded annually, that means per year. So my principal, that's my $1,500. My time amount, 3 years in total. And then we want to figure out the compound interest rate. So it's 4.7%. So if we convert that into a decimal, 0.047. So if we go through and we fill out our table, we know that our starting amount is going to be $1,500. The interest that we earned is I is equal to PRT. So that means, oh dear. So that means that I is going to be equal to 1,500 times 0.047 times 1 year. So the amount of interest that you earn in 1 year on this investment is $1,500 times 0.047 times 1. That's going to give you $70.50. So at the end of the investment, or the end of the first compounding year, the investment is now worth a total of $1,500 or $1,570.50. So that means at the beginning of the next year, the beginning of compound interest cycle year 2, your value is $570.50. So we're going to calculate our interest from there. So our interest is going to be 1570.5 times 0.047 times 1. And so our interest is going to be $73 and approximately 81 cents. So our final value, if I add my 1570.85 or 1570.50 that I started off with, and I add the $73.81 that we started off with, I end up getting a total value of $1,644 and approximately 31 cents, which means that in the beginning of my third year, the value of the investment is $1,644.31. If I calculate what that's actually the interest that I'm going to earn on that, I get $77.28. And then that means that my final value after those 3 years is a total of $1,721.59. Okay. Now, the table of values using simple interest to calculate compound interest will work. It is, however, time consuming, even though it is reliable. So there is an easier way to do this. So again, we need to bear in mind, obviously, that simple interest versus compound interest, those two things are not the same. Simple interest is calculated only on the original principal and nothing else. Okay, so it's a linear relationship. You get the same amount of interest in every single year. So for example, if you have $1,000 at 5% simple interest for 3 years, you would get $50 in interest for every single year. So you would get a grand total of $150 in interest. So if I add those three together, I get $150 in interest. Compound interest is interest on the principal plus the previous year's interest. So if I had the exact same situation and I was doing compounding, and I was using compound interest for it, I would end up with a grand total of $157.63. So I would end up with an additional $7.63. So the gist of this is that compound interest, all other factors being equal, compound interest will result in a higher interest rate over the life of an investment versus simple interest.